Tell them we ain't taking no days off. Days off, taking no days off. Boys think I'm long gone way out. Days off, no days off. You can tell them we ain't taking no days off.
Okay, everybody, Rob Ice Price Baby, back with you again for some more content on the cornhole journey. As my wife, my cornhole widow, I should say, wife, Sharon, is driving us back right now. We're somewhere here in Alabama, I think, on the way back to Dallas from Myrtle Beach for the ACL Open. My third time going to Myrtle Beach. They have a college event there as well. Initially, they included a draft for the teams, which is kind of fun. I kind of caught some of that on the app on the way home here. So, but just some rambling thoughts as we drive back and kill some time about my biggest takeaways from this weekend. My partner was a young high school phenom named Austin Waskow from the Bryan College Station area. He also competed in the high school tournament, finished number 2 in the nation, played the championship match. So, solid thrower. We threw his PG Sorcerers, which is fine. I want to, submit to him. He's a better player. He's advanced. So, my theory is throw the bags of the better player. Let the best play with their best bags, and I'll just adjust and kind of hold off my opponent. So we chose his bag, which is fine. Still love Black Sheep baggers. I love you guys, but in this case, we kind of acquiesce sometimes. So we went 3-1 in the first 4 games in rounders. This is where it gets interesting. Now, for those who don't know how ACL Opens work in doubles, it's everyone's in one big pot to start. I mean, intermediate players, brand new players, top pros in the world, you're all in one big pot to start. And so after the first game, all the teams who are 1-0 play each other. And all the teams who are 0-1 play each other. And then it kind of splits up from there. All the 2-0 teams play each other. All the 1-1 teams play each other. The 0-2 teams play each other. So by the 3rd, 4th game, the pros are kind of working their way up, and the mid guys from the middle and the lower intermediate guys are kind of playing each other. So it kind of all balances out. So our first 4 games, we went 3-1. Lost to a team that just, I'm going to go there. It was just a bad start. I think we got down 10-0 early, just could never catch up. So we beat one team to get to 3-1. One of them was a pro who I actually threw against, and then another really good advanced player. So that one didn't work out for us. But anyway, so we get to 3-1, and I'm with Austin, my partner, and he looks at his phone. He's like, "Rob, we're playing Trey Burchfield and Rawls. We're up on court, wherever it was." I'm like, "No, we're not." He says, "Yeah, we are." I said, "No, we're not." And he showed me the text. I'm like, "Yeah, we are. I'm playing Trey Burchfield and Rawls." I think Trey is a former number 1 beast. I think Alex and Mark Richards were co-number 1s last year. We're talking 2 of the best on the planet together as partners. Got to play, have to play Ice Price Baby. And this young phenom, Alex, Austin from the Bryan area. So it happened so quick. Within 2 minutes, we were warming up, and I did a little fist pump with Trey, and I said, "I'm Rob." He says, "I'm Trey." I said, I know you are, but thank you. And this was the strange thing, gang. I want to take away. I want to share with you all on my journey. You would think I would have been as nervous as a cat in a dog pound, right? But it was the strangest thing. I felt no nerves, 0 anxiety, 0, can I say this word, even intimidation, and I should have. And I don't know what happens. Like, my brain just shut off, and all I thought about was play the bags, play the board, play the bags on the board. Don't worry about what's happening over here, who this person is. My strategy was to make it as muddy as possible, because I know Trey can just throw bags in the hole all day long. I don't want to get into a race with him. I will lose every time. So he would throw his first bag in, and instead of me racing it into the hole as well, I just would block in front and threw some pretty good blocks in front. So I took some chances. He would push mine in, and I would maybe the push mine in. So, and then eventually I put some blocks up there that he had to kind of work around. And there were a few rounds, gang, where it was mountains of bags. And this competitive player who throws an average of 7.2 or 3 in the last 2 or 3 months down there in Dallas, Texas, scored 4 points against Trey Burchfield. One was 8-5, one was, I think, 6-5. Now, we lost 22-6, but I scored 4 points, 4 legitimate points against one of the best players on the planet. And what I'm also proud of is that I held his DPR down to 6.83. I threw a 6.17, 6.18, so it ended up being in the math on the app minus 0.67 DPR, which I'm very proud of. That's a good negative number to be proud of against Trey Burchfield, right? So I look back and thought, I would say, in a way, went toe-to-toe with him. He still kind of beat me bad, but not as bad as he maybe could have. I look at the other matches he played that day. He and Alex went on to win their bracket. They won their bracket. So he played 6 games in rounders, and I don't even know how many games he played in the bracket. Went undefeated all the way through and won the whole thing. So I'm guessing 13, 14, 15 games, I guess. And I looked at every match as you can on the ACL app, and I had the 4th best DPR against him all day long. To hold Trey Burchfield to 6.83 DPR is crazy, and I attribute it to just me being at calm and peace, just playing my game, and I tried to make him kind of come down to where I was, knowing that I'm probably not going to beat the guy, and I didn't. Hats off, you're the best player out there, right? So you should beat me, and you did. But I made him work. And that's my encouragement to all of you guys who are playing players who are better than you, or you think they're better than you. Forget that person to your right or left. Just play the bags. Look at the board. Play smart, winning cornhole. Just look at the scenario and execute the shot that's required of you. And go back to a previous episode, and it's not story time. It's winning time. Play winning cornhole, or in this case, just match him cornhole. Austin played valiantly against Alex, but we both gave up enough points where they eventually wore us down. That's fine. They should win, but what a great experience. And I'll probably go away from this with a lot less intimidation or anxiety against players back in the Dallas area who I know are better than me, DPR-wise or PPR-wise or skill level-wise. I know I'm very much in the middle of the pack, but I lost a lot of potential nervousness or fear or anxiety in the future. So a great learning point for me. And take that for what you can in your cornhole journey as well. So, all right, check back with you later here on the cornhole journey. I forgot to finish up the rest of the weekend, so sorry about that. Gas here. So I'll wrap up the end of my story there. We ended up going 3-3 in the rounders. Jumped into the bracket and we went 2-2. So we won our first 2, and then we lost. I think we just ran out of gas. Competition's so good, but I was very proud of how I played in brackets. I think I was almost an 8, like 7.96. So basically I threw an 8, which is pretty good for me against those type of players. And so overall, I think my journey is progressing. I'm getting better at the game, and I love this game. I love the people I met. So many wonderful people I met. After I get gas, so I'll come back and tell you about a wonderful session, an impromptu session I had with Frank Modlin. So more about that in just a second. Hold on. Check my gas. Okay, back here on the road home. I'm actually driving now, as you can tell. My shift is up after getting that gas. So I want to add one more little thought, unless even more come, about an experience I had. I think it was Friday night. After I was done moping around from losing at singles, I caught up with Frank Modlin. He was over there in the corner, just kind of hanging out with his wife and his daughter. I met him like at another open, like last year sometime, so he kind of remembered me. But we just kind of started talking and throwing. He's like, I'll throw with you. And what began as a 2-minute conversation turned into like a 45-minute impromptu, personal, one-on-one strategic lesson with Frank Modlin, one of the greatest players in ACL history. And this guy just taught me so much about what to think about based on what the bags were showing me on the board, where I should throw, why I did this throw, what my next strategy is for the next bag, and why not to do a certain type of throw. And we played several games. Of course, he beat me every time. Did score a few points against him, but I love how he didn't let me score unless I earned it. He was not being easy on me at all. He was being tough on me, but super friendly. And it became like a game where he was coaching me as he was whipping me. And it was awesome. Super friendly guy, gave me so much confidence and information about the game. And I found myself, this is crazy, I found myself throwing a lot of 10s and 12s consecutively against Frank Modlin just to keep up with him. And it was like I was at peace about it. At some point, he would still ding me too. Here I'd go 10, he'd go 12, I'd go 12, 12, and then 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10. So I'm throwing 10s, or like 9, 10, and he's still beating me. But I'm like, why can't I throw 9s, 10s, and 12s all the time? There's a few singers, a couple of 7s and 8s in there, of course, but I was throwing remarkably higher, like out of my mind. And I mentioned to Frank, and we were just talking about the fact that you just sometimes play up to your competition. I just wanted to hang with him, not to embarrass myself, one thing, plus just to really give him a good practice session as well. And so, what is that all about? How can we maybe have to trick ourselves? Maybe in the future, whoever you're playing, imagine them being a top level pro. You just want to hang with them, do your best. So I know it's in you, it's in me to play outstanding cornhole a lot. If you are a competitive player in the ACL, or a B or a C player, TCL, I play a lot of games as well in the Dallas area. You've got some game, all right? You can four bag, you can put 9s and 10s on the board, you can block, you can do some things to make life tough on people. It's just consistency. How long can you do it until you just, choke, or let's get a rough word, just, make the mistake. It's who's going to be better longer. How long till you're one bag better? How long till you're one bag worse? For me, against Frank, I was one bag worse every 3-4 bags, or maybe every 2 rounds or so, but it cost me. And he ended up beating me sometimes 21-0 or 21-2 or 3 or 4. But it took a while to get there versus just getting smacked with a 4-point hit, a 5-point hit, a 6-point hit, getting mad at yourself and just throwing them off the board and just getting beaten 5 or 6 rounds. It took him a while. Well, against players who are not as good as Frank Modlin, how long can you just hang with someone, wash them, whatever, until you're just one bag better, one decision better, one degree of decision making better? You get that little point here, point there, and that's how you, I think, play winning cornhole. It's consistency over time and confidence that you can pull off winning cornhole shots that'll make you a better player. So thank you, Frank Modlin. I consider you more than an acquaintance. I know we're not good buddies, not a good friend, but thank you, Frank, for your time investment in the game of cornhole and what you gave to me for those 45 minutes or so. I'll never forget it, a one-on-one lesson with Frank Modlin, who genuinely cared about my game. It was a treat. So God bless you, Frank.
Tell him we ain't taking no days off. Days off.